All right, folks, welcome back. Rudy, Alpha Investments. Today, yes, folks, we're going to the Weiss Schwarz. We're going to the Weiss and Weebs, okay? Today's actual conversation is going to be my first intro, kind of PG, calm conversation regarding Weiss Schwarz and what's going on. Maybe I just call it the Weeb. I just want to give you all what I see going on with it. And again, keep in mind, this is 2021. Essentially, all collectibles have just been skyrocketing. Everyone's just diamond hands, emojis, rockets, moons. You know, the world has changed so dramatically. Keep in mind, we're in a very special time period where these prices and these things are very exaggerated. So the rates of return are a lot higher than they normally would be in normal time periods. I do expect things to level out in the next 6, 12 to 24 months, depending on how much more money printer go burr, how much more inflation, how the world evolves and settles when the dust really starts to stabilize here post-2020 disaster. But in the world of Weiss, we are here. I want to let everybody know a couple things. Number one, I continue to expand very, very heavily personally into Weiss. After doing more and more research and learning how they make these sets, how all these different Weiss sets, depending on what side it is based on different animes and the history. I'm really intrigued with it. I have not made a lot of content on this. I've been very kind of cautious to kind of really discuss details for fear of moving the market or causing any substantial damage to the game. But I just want you all to know I'm still in the accumulation phase right now. I think as of the filming of this video, I'm probably around 4,000 booster boxes of Weiss between probably about 7 or 8 different sets right now. So going from the most recent release backwards, including I think the Live a Love or Love a Live, that's the newest one that's going to come out pretty soon. On that one, I don't have as much, probably around 200 boxes. Again, I've kind of stopped selling it completely. I'm kind of stepping back and just monitoring this because, well, ever since a couple people approached me about it and told me to seriously just take some time and look into it, look at the value of the sealed boxes over time, look at some of the older sealed boxes, look how tightly the supply is printed. A little bit of a giggity on the tight printed, but it's very tightly regulated and printed. Nothing is massively overprinted by billions of boxes. Weiss operates on the system of you have to give pre-orders to your distributors 3 months in advance. It's worse than Pokemon and Magic. It is one of the earliest pre-order things because they do pre-order to print. Whatever the pre-orders total, they accumulate all this data around the world. They print that many boxes plus like 5% buffer, and that's it. It is extraordinarily tightly printed. And honestly, just like quitting Pokemon for 2 years, not doing this sooner with Weiss is probably one of my biggest regrets. Seriously, the amount of sets that even I sold to patrons in the past for like $70 a box or something. I was selling a lot of Weiss releases, probably in 2019, 2020. But the biggest thing I just didn't put the time into because I was so wound up with Magic and the massive amounts of product that WotC was releasing, I missed out on substantial things in the world of Weiss from just not paying attention. Same thing with Pokemon. The fact I skipped 2019 and 2020 of Pokemon, I was a moron. I was stupid. I was Captain Timmy right here. I screwed it up. It is what it is. Again, making mistakes is okay, folks. We've talked about this in the other kind of philosophical, cheesy, cliche life videos on this channel. It is important to screw up. It is important to fail, and it's also important to understand why you failed, what made you make that terrible decision, and how you can navigate moving forward. That is a very important thing about, I don't know, aging, whatever in this world, whatever the cliche, stupid, cheesy stuff is. So, what I see going on with Weiss right now is I see more and more demand for the game. I see more and more people wanting to be a part of it. I see more and more people right now and more messages from people, from the public and patrons, commenting about the value of sealed Weiss products and also some of the really hard to get chase cards in the actual booster boxes that are really tough to get. I mean, some of these things are exotic and tough to get, man. Now, I know Weiss made some changes and announcements recently regarding the way they're doing their signatures and these gold stamps, which really kind of pissed off a lot of people. I think it's a way for them to cut corners and cut costs. It sucks, but yes, they're doing it. It is what it is. It's just typical corporate decision. Do I think it's the right decision? No. Do I understand why they're doing it? Yes. It's a cost-cutting, streamlining. It takes out a lot of the complications for designing and getting kind of the artwork and signatures of certain things to the factory, getting them received in time, and the scheduling and timetables. That's really what it comes down to, and they got to pay money for that. And of course, just eliminating all that, they save them a lot of money. So, and of course, there are certain Weiss sets that are only released in, non-English. There are certain Weiss sets that are released only in English. There are certain, there's certain IPs within Weiss and certain series and certain, how do I say it? There's certain cultures and phenomena with different sets tied to different kind of, loyal following behind them that highly impact the value of the boxes and how much people really want a certain set, or they skip a set and they want to be a part of that. Maybe it's a sequel set. I know there's a lot of sequel sets coming out. There's a lot of things like that. But at the end of the day, these are the facts. Weiss is the most tightly printed booster box thing I've seen in many, many series of card games. I've been wanting to put more and more money into it for a long time. I never put the attention to it, and I regret it, and now moving forward, I've been doing it, starting with the last few sets. Okay? My goal was to have like 500 boxes in every single Weiss set, and I've been able to kind of, hit those goals in the last 3-4 releases. Well, the Live a Love one coming up, I don't think I hit the 500. I think I got like half of that, or less than half, maybe like 200, but it is what it is. But moving forward, everything's pretty ironclad. I hooked it up with multiple distributors to have a backup and a buffer in case one gets cut, there's a problem, to really make sure that, multiple tentacles are pulling in, even so in case anything goes wrong, we're still not getting hosed there. I do firmly believe that the game has a very bright future. I do not believe Weiss is going to be shut down and bankrupted or quit or anything soon. Or I don't think the parent company is going to cut it off like they did with Future Card Buddy Fight. Weiss has a lot stronger following. There's a lot, just the loyal people behind Weiss are very loyal to it. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh players. It's like Pokemon people. There are people, even in Magic, I guess, even Flesh and Blood, or actually even the new, Digimon's too new, Dragon Ball Super. The people into some of these, the hardcore fan base, they're not going anywhere. And it's similar to Pokemon. Pokemon is obviously the king of the world now, and the people involved in that, they've been involved for maybe 20 years. And those people are so deep and rooted with the franchise, I mean, you're not going to pull those people away. Weiss will never get to that level, but at the same time, you can't downplay the opportunity of the market forces. And it is a perfect storm for someone like me and other collectors to move in. And I think there's going to be tremendous opportunity moving forward with the card game. And I'd like to actually do some box openings in the future, a little bit more about all I know is the basics of how to play, similar to the basics how to play the Future Card Buddy Fight game. I'd like to know more details. I want to get more informed with it, similar to I am with like Flesh and Blood. I'm still learning about the Digimon thing, and I want to get more kind of in tune with what's going on with it. Because, they've been around for a while. Weiss is not a flash in the pan, folks. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's considered such a nerd basement weeb thing. I don't know why Weiss doesn't get the attention. And even the influencers, the social media, it doesn't get the online presence. Like, I've looked online and YouTube and everything. There's no one there's no big people really discussing the world of Weiss. And it's very strange because this isn't a new card game. Seriously, go on TCG Player. Look how many sets there are. Look how far back it goes. Go on TCG Player. Hit sealed boxes. Look at the older boxes. Remember, when most Weiss boxes come out, the pricing is usually between like $60 and $80 a box when they come out. Okay? Similar to a Magic box, but a little bit cheaper because they're a little bit smaller. So, if the average booster box of Weiss comes out at 70, 80 bucks, let's say, and even 80, let's just figure the worst, figure the high. Look online. Seriously, folks. Go on TCG Player, hit Weiss in the category, hit sealed boxes on the left side of the screen so it filters it, and look at all the booster boxes of the history of Weiss. And knowing that all these things came at release at like 80 bucks. And look at where they all are. Seriously. Sort by cheapest. Sort by most expensive. Look at the ages. Look at the difference. Some of these boxes are $200, $300, $400, $500 a box. Some of these boxes are $200, $300 a box, and they're 1 year old. I mean, the new Live a Love, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, I haven't even gotten the product yet. And it's so in demand, and there's none out there. They're already $200 a box. What happened to 70, 80? You can't even find the stupid things. So I just want people to be aware, and I am going to film with showing some of my inventory and things like that in the coming months. I'm not ready to really kind of put too much attention and spotlight on it, but I just want people to be aware. Seriously, take 10, 15 minutes a week or a month, and just keep an eye on it. Just go to the company website, look at what the new releases are, check the secondary market, check TCG Player singles, and just keep an eye on it. I'm telling you all. And, whenever there's opportunity, it's going to eventually attract money. Eventually, when people start figuring out, more and more money will get attracted to it. And I think this is going to continue to be the case for Weiss for a very long time. And I think it's slipped under the radar for way too long. Seriously.